Hi guys, this is Dipti and welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today's video is a meal prep video. As usual, I shopped around my refrigerator, freezer and pantry and then came up with a potential meal plan. Let's get started. I'm going to start off with making today's lunch. First thing I'm doing is making dough for the rotis. I'm using about 8 cups of whole wheat flour or atta to make the roti dough. I will be making the dough in 2 batches as my stand mixer can handle only 4 cups of flour. So while the dough is kneading, I'm going to prep the onions. Some of these onions I will use for making today's lunch and some I will refrigerate for later use. For each batch of dough, I have used about 4 cups of whole wheat flour, and to this I have added 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of oil and roughly 2 cups of water. I'm using the dough hook attachment for kneading the dough and I have set mixing speed between 2 and 4 setting on my stand mixer. Mixing the 2 dough batches to make one large batch. I get about 30 to 32 rotis from about 8 cups of whole wheat flour. I'm taking out about 8 rotis worth of dough for today's lunch and I'm going to refrigerate the remaining dough and use as and when needed. These 8 pieces of dough, I'm going to roll them into a smooth ball and let them rest for about 15 to 20 minutes before I make them into rotis. I am finally chopping the onions that I had set aside along with a few green chilies, and I will be using these for making the dal makhani. On the stove I have a shallow pan heating up in which I'll be preparing green peppers, besan bhaji. So I'm seasoning oil with mustard and cumin seeds, to which I'm adding frozen green peppers. I don't thaw out the peppers. I just take them out from the freezer just before using it. I've added all the other spices to it, and after giving everything a thorough mix, I'm going to let it cook uncovered. Going back to making the dal makhani, I'm letting oil heat up and seasoned it a little bit with cumin seeds, and once they start sputtering, I'm adding onion and green chilies that I had chopped earlier and letting the onions sweat out. Once that is done, I'm adding tomato paste and a bunch of different spices like ginger paste, garlic paste, turmeric powder, red chili powder, cumin coriander powder, and giving everything a thorough mix. I'm going to cover it and let it cook around for good 2 to 3 minutes. Going back to bhaji, I'm adding a teaspoon of garlic paste followed by sprinkling of about 1/3 cups of besan or chickpea flour, and after giving everything a thorough mix, I'm going to cover it and let it cook for a few more minutes, maybe about 4 to 5 minutes. There is a lot of back and forth going on between making the dal and bhaji. Couple weeks ago I had pressure cooked 3 portions of black lentils or urad dal. Today I'm using one of the 2 frozen portions for making this dal makhani. Looks like bhaji is almost done. It's a little bit wet for my liking, but it's cooked. Time to start making the roti. Oh my god, this dough has kneaded so well. You know, the 20 minutes rest time that I had given has made it perfect to roll it out. So I'm going back and forth once again between rolling the rotis and roasting them on the griddle. Once they come out of the griddle, and I'm quickly pressing them between my hands to remove any hot air in the roti. Otherwise, moisture is going to condense on the roti and there's a good chance that it can turn soggy. Anyways, look how soft the rotis are turning out. Lovely. Time to prepare jeera rice. This pan has 2 cups of water heating up, to which I am adding soaked washed rice, and as the rice is cooking, starchy water is foaming in the center of the pan, which I am taking it out. I am rinsing prepared rice under cold tap water and letting it drain in the strainer. I'm tempering cumin seeds in 2 tablespoons of ghee and adding it to rice. Jeera rice is now ready. Lunch is ready and kids have started, but I need to do one more thing, which is to get the potatoes pressure cooking. That way, by the time I'm done eating, they would have pressure cooked and I can move ahead with the next steps. There's that taken care of. And now I can enjoy my jeera rice and dal makhani. Potatoes have cooked and I'm waiting for the pressure to release naturally. In this time, I'm going to prepare flour for my multigrain crepes, for which I am pan roasting brown rice, rolled oats and quinoa. Ideally, each grain type should be roasted separately as each grain has unique sensitivity to heat, but for some reason I had the grains mixed together, so that's what I'm starting with. The grains are turning fragrant, which tells me that roasting is almost done. Now that the grains have completely cooled down, I'm going to grind them to get the flour and then transfer the flour in this jar. My son is helping me with the peeling and mashing of the cooked potatoes, and I am preparing spicy minty water or pani for Pani Puri. I forgot to record this portion, but all I did was add 2 tablespoons of dried crushed mint leaves and Pani Puri masala to about 4 cups of water. Mix thoroughly and refrigerated that water. So now that the potatoes are mashed, all I'm going to do is season it with salt and chopped cilantro. Mix thoroughly and keep it aside. There is about an hour before we can eat dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and prep the remaining cooked potatoes and make potato bhaji, which we will eat for tomorrow's lunch or dinner. I had not planned on making the bhaji today, but since I have time on hand and I am in the flow of prepping, I'm going to go ahead and make it. I have oil heating in a pan on medium-high heat, to which I'm adding mustard seeds, cumin seeds, asafoetida, curry leaves, chopped green chilies and cilantro, turmeric, potatoes and salt. I'm mixing and mashing thoroughly and cooking till everything comes together so I can transfer it to containers and let it cool before refrigerating them. The next thing to do is prepare black chana for Pani Puri as well as for making chana masala tomorrow. I had soaked about 2 cups of these chana yesterday night so that I could pressure cook them first thing in the morning. I'm going to use about 1/3 of these cooked chanas for making Pani Puri for tonight's dinner and refrigerate the remaining 2/3 for making tomorrow's lunch or dinner. All I'm going to do is season the cooked chana with salt and chopped cilantro and set it aside. Then I'm straining the spicy minty water to remove the minty leaves, and finally there is a tamarind chutney that I had left over from a previous Indian takeout. So I'm just going to use that instead of making a new one. Well, it's time to put all of it together and get dinner going. Poking the puris with my fingertips, then filling them with potatoes or with chana, adding tamarind sauce, and then at the last minute adding the Pani Puri pani and popping it in your mouth. There's no time to record, only time to make and eat and enjoy. Well. Oh my god, we got this goodie package delivered today instead of tomorrow. My in-laws have sent a bunch of homemade goodies for all of us. And of course, we are going to eat a little bit of this right away. Why wait for tomorrow when something homemade has been sent all the way from India? Let's get eating. Alright guys, it's late now. I have spent about 3 hours enjoying dinner, family time and unboxing the goodie package, but I still have couple more things to do. That is make the pumpkin parathas and clean up. That will take care of all the to-do list on my meal prep list. Alright, I'm planning to make about 30 pumpkin parathas and I'm estimating it to take about an hour or an hour 15-20 minutes, right from kneading the dough, rolling out the parathas and freezing them. I have to knead the dough in 2 batches since my stand mixer can handle only 4 cups of flour at a time. I'm using an entire can of pumpkin puree, that is all of the 29 ounces. With the canned puree, there is enough moisture so that there is no need to add additional water to form the dough. I don't have a set recipe for making pumpkin parathas. I just go with what feels good at the time. I'm adding finely chopped green chilies, cilantro, crushed fenugreek leaves, salt, turmeric, red chili powder, oil and mixing it to form a dough. Then I'm combining the 2 batches of the dough, kneading it to form one big batch and then splitting it as evenly as possible to get about 32 dough pieces. Oh my god, the color of this dough is such a brilliant orange yellow. I love it. It's so beautiful. I'm using a rolling pin and some flour in between to make the parathas. I'm stacking the parathas as I'm preparing them and placing parchment sheet or a cereal bag sheet in between each of the parathas. I can't believe I'm almost through all the items of my meal prep list. I think it took me about an hour and a half for making the parathas from start to finish, and I feel like I have climbed the mountain. Freezing this stack of pumpkin parathas in a double Ziploc bag and storing it in the freezer. These parathas should last in the freezer for good 4 to 6 weeks. And I have checked off all the tasks on my list. I am so tired and exhausted, but I feel very happy and accomplished. With my kitchen clean and my dishwasher loaded and running, I am ready to call it a day. And here is a quick look at my weekly meal plan for the meals that I have planned for my breakfast, lunch and dinner. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video, and if you did, do leave me a comment below and give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more such content. I will see you soon.